Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to our video presentation. So today we will explain to you guys about the scanning electron microscope of copper. But first, let me introduce our teammates. So the first one, we have Muhammad Hazim bin Muhammad Azman as our leader. Next, we have Afi Aiman bin Muhammad Azmi. Next, which is me, Ahmad Nazmi Fakrullah bin Ngah. And lastly, we have Muhammad Aslam bin Ashar. So next, let's move to the function of SEM.
So, what is the function of the scanning electron microscope, or we call it SEM? The scanning electron microscope SEM is an advanced type of microscope that uses a focused beam of electron to scan the surface of a sample and produce highly detailed images of its structure. The primary function of scanning electron microscope is to generate high resolution images of the surface of material at very high magnifications. Some of the key functions of an SEM include: first, imaging. SEM can provide detailed images of the surface, topography and structure of a wide variety of samples, including biological specimens, metals, semiconductors, ceramics and polymers. SEM image can reveal the surface features of a sample at much higher resolution than is possible with optical microscopy. Second, surface characterization. SEM can be used to study the morphology and chemical composition of the surface of materials, including the presence of defects, cracks and other imperfections that can affect their performance and properties. Then we got micro and nano fabrication. SEM can be used to create and manipulate micro and nano structures on the surface of a sample using a process called electron beam lithography.
So now come to my part, which is the method of SEM. So in this part, I will explain how the SEM works. So basically, how does an SEM works? A scanning electron microscope, or SEM, is works by using a beam of high energy electrons to scan the surface of sample and produce detailed image of its structure. Here are the main steps involved in the operation of an SEM. So the first one is the generating the electron beam. So the SEM contains an electron gun that generates a beam of electrons. This is done by heating a tungsten filament or using a field emission source. Then the electrons accelerate and focus into a fine, narrow beam using a series of electromagnetic lens. So next come to the sample preparation. The sample is prepared by coating it with a thin layer of conductive material, such as gold or carbon, to prevent charging of the surface during imaging. The sample is then mounted on a stage inside the SEM chamber, where it can be moved and tilted for better imaging. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi. In this video, I will continue to explain about SEM. Next, the thing SEM do is scanning the sample, but how? The focus electron beam is directed toward the sample and scan over its surface in a raster pattern. As the beam interacts with the sample, it causes the emission of a secondary electron and a backscatter electron, which carry information about the sample surface and composition. Moreover, SEM will detecting the electrons with the emitted electrons are detected by specialized detectors, such as a secondary electron detector and a backscattered electron detector. So These detectors capture the electron and convert them into electrical signals. Lastly, SEM or scanning electron microscope will do the image information. The electrical signals from the detectors are processed by a computer to generate a detailed image of the sample. The image can be displayed on a computer screen, saved or printed out of for the further analysis. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Alright, so now come to my part, which is the example data obtained from our project. So as we can see right here, this is an SEM, which is scanning electron microscope image of heat treated of our sample, which is copper, taken at 2000 magnification. The analysis was performed at 30 kV. So from our observation, from the first point, the surface morphology, the microstructure reveals a rough, porous surface with distinct crystalline formation. The presence of this feature indicate potential grains growth or oxidation effects during heat treatment. And the second point, the magnification and scale. This image was captured in 2000 magnification with the scale bar indicating 10 ohm, providing a detailed view of surface morphology. And the third point, the possible interpretation. The needle light and cluster formation suggests structural change due to thermal exposure. This feature may correspond to oxidation products or recrystallized grain structures. So, the SEM analysis helped us understand how heat treatment affect our copper, which is the sample, at microstructural level. Such findings are crucial for optimizing material performance in application requiring control grain growth and surface integrity. Thank you.